and
What?
Zeka just kind of about.
A painter meets their subject, eye to eye.
I have more
Welcome to
important
Summoner's
matters to
Rift.
attend to.
Death Ray comes in, the flash, and first blood is a Cap
30
solo
seconds
kill that's
until
immediately
minions
answered
fall.
here
They'll
as
remember
Busio
how I
pushes him
made them
back
feel.
underneath the turret, but man, we had no action, and then a solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, Quad just kind of stands in there. He wants to commit to the play because Busio is coming, but Cap says, fine, I will flash in. I will make sure I get the kill before dying. Now, the FlyQuest one is assisted as far as the kill, so you get that extra 50%, you know, money for the team, but the focused gold does go into Caps. He did have to spend his flash though, Vedius, so how are you feeling about like repeat plays there?
Oh, I mean, I think there's ample opportunity for FlyQuest, especially with the Wukong and the Alistair by your side.
no
Caps though
muse.
playing with confidence
bleeds
as
the
he finds
color
a solo
from
kill
everything
in mid.
it
In terms of the
touches.
goal, it's not going to change that dramatically in the mid lane matchup, so I don't think Quad is too upset about what took place, but the fact that Caps is able to finish those upgraded
Keep an
boots
open
means
mind,
he's now going to be a
and
little bit
we'll
ahead of the
find
curve.
meaning
Yeah,
together.
I think that because Busio has Hex Flash on Alistar, as well as Spellbook, he's still going to have some mobility. He might need it.
Yeah, he is ghosting, so that's going to move him pretty quickly, but let's just get into position here. Twisted Advance does come on down, but Skewmon does get pulverized.
Act on
Another brilliant
inspiration
flick
when it
from Quad
strikes.
to pull Skewmon back, and in the meantime, Caps, oh, that flash is gone, and Inspired will take him out because of it. Now Quad looking for that angle once again, and they have corralled them underneath this turret, but it looks like FlyQuest, they're just happy to get that one pick, and then set themselves up elsewhere. They'll have inside tracks of mid lane, for example.
Yeah, we got an instant answer on our question. Is the flash going to get punished? Yes, it is. Inspired immediately jumping on that, punishing that cooldown here for Flash, getting the kill. Wukong with Trinity Force, Vedius. It's the exact right time to go looking for a victor wandering through the jungle. And
He doesn't see
No
them because they're
justice.
stood still.
No
Oh, the
revenge.
flash pulverize going to come on
Only
through. Another
clarity.
headbutt back here. Even the Valkyrie damage is helping out. Trample going to come on through, but he does have part of that network set. And the flash forward does need to come in, but it's not enough. The little bullet from the Corki couldn't do it. And out goes BB once again.
Give me your
Ryze
full
so
attention.
obnoxious to lock down. As Labrov throws the ultimate mids.
Yeah, Tempered Fate comes on down there as Hansama gets on in. Didn't quite have the snap trap, but he just flashes over the seismic shot. Will be able to get the last hit onto Quad. So Hansama gonna even things
One
up
breath
once
and
again,
brush at
as
a
in this
time.
top lane, Whippo taking some damage from Caps.
Okay, so the gloves are coming off now from both sides. They're getting a little bit more warmed up on stage. Items are coming through, and they're looking to punish where they can. Mid lane has clearly been the focus from both sides. Summer picking up that kill will build him up to a huge lead of 1K over Masu.
And last time, Vedius, I was like, oh yeah, you know, Quad, he just took his death and it was good, you know, Quad did it, but that one, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah, got a bit of a
can't
flash
weather the
forward here
pain.
from Whippo, who's going all out onto Caps, has Inspired alongside him, and down goes the Victor once again.
Fantastic punish comes through from Whippo. Again, Caps had no real way to get out of that situation given he had no flash available. The gravity field also just doing nothing to Whippo as he used his ultimate to get away from that. And with
Every
Inspired
mark
at his
should
back,
have
it's an
meaning.
easy pickup as FlyQuest get that feat of strength of 3 kills.
And the point I was about to make there, you know, about Quad, he should have flashed the Bard ultimate. Caitlyn is there, and Caitlin's going to be able to follow up with the trap, so really
An
nicely
ally
done
has
from
been
D2.
slain.
But Quad that time holding a little bit too long on that flash. Maybe it will still be
Creativity is
useful for
limitless.
a play imminently as they teleport up top side, and Busio is seen by the
An enemy has been
This time maybe
slain.
he's going to be able to make his way out, but saving the turret, that's a big deal. As FlyQuest, if they're able to get that first turret, that will be
Double
victory
kill.
locked in. At the moment we are locked down as far as the objective pieces are concerned, so another 2 going to be required.
I mean, if you are a G2 fan right now, you're looking at Whippo and being like, that's kind of scary. If you're a FlyQuest fan,
Single
you're looking
morning
at Hansama and you're going,
changed everything.
that's kind of scary. But
So
admittedly,
red with
I don't think that she
blood,
quite has the
flames,
tools
and
to get through what already feels like a very tanky Pisante, even though it's G2 that's first to this objective.
Trinity Forces are pretty good, aren't they? When they're built. As you can see, Hansama getting the brunt of that. Hansama does have that first spike complete. I'm also looking at Inspired. I think these will be scary as well.
aren't what they say.
Double train full spike.
They show.
Redeeming Master here.
My light
Almost walks out a little
grows
bit early,
brighter.
going
Don't
Probably
look
should
away,
trade the
Jen.
Dragon, yeah, for Rift Herald here for FlyQuest, because it is on a Caitlyn recall timer. Hans had a decent amount of money to spend, full BF sword there, back like that, so good value there for him. 2 dragons stacked up by G2, but again, the top side objectives, the Grubs and the Rift Herald, are the ones that turn into early game gold. And so FlyQuest here, if they can use this Rift Herald, knock down one of these outer towers, really does set them up for a lot of Hwei seconds. Could they do it early here? They've got an Alistar as well,
An
so
ally
Caps
has
have to be a
been
little bit
slain.
careful. FlyQuest have been targeting him fairly successfully.
Right now, LeBron just using as much information as he
Relive
can.
the pain.
He's on the scene for the moment. He
Relieve
does just
the
walk
pain.
out of that rush. So now Quad on that gravity field, but Caps just up here. Does get the flick back. Very nice. 10% of his health bar goes missing. Quad able to really handle the pressure here on this top side, and he needs to. This is very, very close.
Art is empty
Going down in
without
favor of G2.
Hwei is building an even greater lead over Broken Blade. Getting that kill with the assistance inspired was a nice pick for sure, but on the side lane, I feel like that he just spent more time in lane, allowing him to build almost a full level advantage over his opposition. As G2 set the sights on the tower.
Yeah, Nature's Wrath does come down as Caps is getting pushed out of the fight. Ace in the hole comes on through here as well, but looks like G2 decide against going for anything more. Net over the wall will get Hans Sama to safety, and the Rift Herald going to then try and turn the tables as far as this push, and this could actually just
Part
be
of the
feats
whole
of strength
picture.
right here as Shelly decides that she wants to give them over to FlyQuest, and that will come on through as soon as we deal with these minions. No real defense here by G2 going to get set up, and there she blows.
Power achieved, as you
Piece
say,
is
the
never
beats as
really
well as the
finished.
extra gold here.
Just
Soaked
a
up by everybody, and Busio as well as Basu kind of helping inspired usher that Rift Herald up to
Quickly.
make sure there's no counterplay there from G2 to put a stop to it.
Lead of his own. Just been passively building up this farm, securing towers, and you can really see that gold advantage just slowly continuing
Peace
to
of
mount
mind
for
is a
FlyQuest.
journey
Obviously the tension
where
still
you hold
feels very
every
high when you
shade
get
of
into that
yourself
first fight.
up to the light.
Things will really play out. Both teams have really just been trading objectives, but Arakan alive in 1:05. The Dragon in 2 minutes time. You expect these to be the next major objectives that both these teams will turn their attention to.
And honestly, I would expect Lebrov to go for an ultimate
I'll
on
always
quad
be a student
pretty
of the
early,
brush.
ahead of time, if you
Never
can get
its
that
master.
flash out from the Talia, or if you can even make a play on it straight up. You know, the Bard has a lot of options.
An ally
He's
has
trying to
been
make
slain.
some plays preemptively for the Dragon. It's a minute and 40 seconds here on the clock for that one.
And it's 35 seconds
Heavy
on
in
the
the
Otacon
mind.
as well.
Becomes light.
Spawning towards that bottom side of the map, so does mean that that Dragon's even more dangerous. You can just follow it up immediately by able to fight prior to or after that Dragon being taken. Could be a battlefield here in this game, because there hasn't been much of a
Good,
battlefield so
evil.
far. There's 5 kills,
line
all up. There's a
blurs.
lot of posturing as Lebrov able to walk out of the way of the wall. Seismic Shove does go wide as Hansama unable to get the net for the slow, but otherwise is able to get out of dodge. Still, Summoner Spell's now on cooldown, and that flash being down for the Caitlyn is a big deal as Lebrov in the back of this pit just get flicked back, and I thought he was just going to magically
Yeah, where are you going, buddy?
Never
Lucio
fall.
sits him down, and
Maybe
Whippo trying to
just
sit Broken
myself.
Blade down, but the flash is enough.
Some feedback up. The last series, well, we should probably have 2 play-by-plays because there's too much action. And seems to manage to utilize it here in this particular moment as G2 able to keep pressure.
I mean, it feels as though FlyQuest is just it's very small advantage.
An ally has been slain.
And that ultimately led to LeBron thinking, oh, he's still well, Journey should be on cooldown, you hit it now, but then he gets punished by Busio. A really quick flash
Life
to set up for the
flows
play.
in currents.
Gives FlyQuest another
Twisting.
kill. 4-2 now the advantage, 2k the gold lead, Dragon spawning in 9 seconds. Look at the TPs. G2 have a clear game plan in mind. It is, of course, a fight around this objective.
And Hans is very close to item number 2 as well. It's going to be Infinity Edge as far as 2 item spikes. It's probably the best that you can get from Caitlyn. He's not
Keep
quite there yet, but
spiraling
still
down.
G2 has so
never
much control of this area. Ancient's Grasp for holding onto control as well is so incredibly good. X-Flash gonna get channeled here as Busio looking for an angle towards Caps, perhaps. As he gets taken down so incredibly low, Unbreakable Will comes in, and now you've got Flipper trying to make the difference, but Tempered Fate to hold them in position. Hansama in so much trouble, and he does get taken down. Inspired to grab first blood in the fight. Busio is going to be the answering kill, and Broken Blade takes down Busio as well as FlyQuest can actually answer back as Caps trying to do some of the damage, but doesn't quite manage to do so. And it's a big win here for FlyQuest.
Yeah, huge engage there. Busio threatens around the side. Inspired goes straight in through the Dragon Pit. Look at Inspired go straight onto Hansama. They put so much pressure on this Caitlyn. Busio's threatening around the outside, but there goes the flash. Inspired is in. He ults and then clones away from the gravity field to stay on the Caitlyn.
And I just love the target focus because Bwipo is right there with him as Busio sets his sights onto Caps, trying to mitigate the other damage dealer from doing what he can. And as we mentioned in Drown, once the Caitlyn is gone, the front line really doesn't have that much to worry about. So Caps is forced to and FlyQuest to find a beautiful fight, and crucially, they take away that Dragon Soul point from GT.
He then had a Q come up and he just Q smited the Dragon right in front of Skumon. He joined that objective as well. This is something that's so well known in North America. You know, give up the first couple of dragons, the third dragon fight, and they pull that one off quite well to bring the game under their control.
In your memory.
Hansama didn't have moving one that last fight, right? We hit like the perfect two-item spike that we talk about for Corki all the time. Miramana was in there, Masu was able to stay alive, keep doing that DPS. Him and Quad have been able to do a lot. Quad especially, man. This guy has looked so good in this game. On this tier thus far, two items have now been completed. Leandri is now done as well. They'll grab themselves another turret, and they are starting to really roll this snowball down the hill.
Yeah, I like that you're going. Wait a second. This one's just for fun.
Bit of an exciting one here, as we do get a bit of a stun onto Skumon, but he gets himself out.
Why can't I paint
That's a lot of damage on the Master.
imagine?
Does need to be a little bit careful. The Infinity Edge is done.
I like that you're, really complimenting Quad there, though, because he's been so aggressive with all these seismic shove chunks. It's opened up a lot of, small opportunities for FlyQuest so far, and he's able to finish off that mid tower, so that's all three outer towers down now for G2. They have no longer any outer defenses, and FlyQuest immediately pull the trigger on the Otacon.
Yeah, there is a ward still here, though, for G2, so they know the size of this health bar. As you can see, Bwipo just trying to stand in front of them.
He's
to keep them out of this one, as my goodness, he's so incredibly tanky at the same time. Is G2 going to have to deal with him first? The wall goes down just to try and keep him alive. There's a Pulverize as well. Broken Blade gets himself out of there now. The Nature's Cross does fly hard. The Otacon will just turn its sights onto G2 this time, down to about 4K as FlyQuest possibly out of this. There's a flash forward from Busio, but I don't know about it. The flick back, though, is gorgeous, and Skumon put in position, but unable to get the smite. That one's going to go to Inspired. As the gravity field goes down, the Arcane Storm doing nothing. Master going to take down Caps, who cannot get it done. Now Broken Blade buying some space. They only lose one, but Otacon, such a big deal.
FlyQuest showing such patience. Quad with a fantastic ultimate to start that fight off because it isolates Broken Blade. It looked like Quad was caught out of position. He was so far up the river without the support of his team, but then Quad's ulti completely changed that dynamic. And the reason why it's important is because it forces the ulti out from the Brav. So here you're thinking, wow, Bwipo, you're way too deep, but look on the left. A beautiful ultimate comes through. Then the Brav reactively uses his ultimate, but to no effect. Now the Maokai ultimate is gone, the Brav's ultimate is gone, and it makes it easy for 5 to re-engage.
And then it still comes down to a clutch smite fight right here. Maokai gets knocked in, tries to go for the Q smite, but Inspired clutches out the smite on the Otacon to get that one, and it is huge. Then Caps just gets jumped on. Masu bounced forward, and since Bwipo teleported in, Bwipo's back to help him out.
I mean, just great patience demonstrated by FlyQuest is now in a lot of danger.
Or is he? I mean, this is the Rek'Sai situation, right? It always looks like he's in danger, and then kind of that play-by-play thing where it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna die, and then he never does. Well, let's see whether he does here. See, that thing. Let's see whether he... No, it just doesn't happen. He's just eating a whole lot of pressure in this game.
I gotta be honest, Vedius. It's
When
looking
others
a lot like
I mean, right now, yeah. we haven't really seen any proactivity from G2, and again, one of the big question marks for this team is seeing Skumon and LeBron work together. But when Skumon is on a champion like Outplayed, well, he has been playing it extensively throughout the year. In summer, that's really not been there. Things like the Wukong, the Xinjiao, the Pantheon, things that you can have a lot of agency in playmaking to try and play through mid. LeBron looks to be more on. Both of them take a much more aggressive approach while their laners have been going pretty well. FlyQuest have just found way more punishes. They punished Caps a lot in the side lane. They got Handsome Flash out from him ahead of a major fight. And just the punishes from FlyQuest have been fantastic.
And the desk was talking about it, right? It was the fact that Inspired has been a little bit quiet this Worlds. Well, I'm looking at this game, I'm feeling like Inspired's been pretty loud. 3-0-2 currently on the Wukong, as Whippo just constantly keeping G2 at bay. Standing in front, he's a bouncer this game, and that is going to mean that we've evened out the Drakes between the two squads. One stack of Tech Soul will be a lot of healing.
An ally has been slain.
Lucio is ghosting again. The Hex flash over. Do they actually make it
on inspiration when it strikes.
Dangerous one. With getting over the wall, they just clear out vision. FlyQuest have not been giving up. Playing slowly, but they've been just constantly encroaching on G2. It's like creep spread or something like that to use it.
And something that FlyQuest are just so ultimately confident in is always their team fighting ability and choosing the correct timers here. And they have just out-executed in these fights over and over again. It's not quite a blowout or anything, but they do feel very much.
Let me into your circle.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Survive.
Understand why throughout his career he is 9-0 on the champion. Look at him, he's 10. Right now, FlyQuest holds on to a 4.9k gold lead.
Baron certainly looking like something that could try and get a blowout
Enough
as
for
far
now.
as that gold advantage
I'll
is
refine the details
concerned.
later.
Themselves into a winning position. G2, you mentioned it already, right? Like if this composition can just stick around, right? Then it does have a lot of options later on in the game.
Follow the
like
river.
you get to max items on a Caitlyn, she has so much range. It's really, really hard to get to her, and
Life
she does
has
so much
to be
damage, but they
valued.
have to get
No
there.
seconds
The
wasted.
hole comes through, Whippo
Time is
ignores it,
slipped away too
bounces
quickly.
off it, something like that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I think so far, the problem for G2 is that, yeah, you know, you've got Caitlyn and Victor range for later, but FlyQuest engagers are extremely confident. Inspired and Lucio are the best players on the team. Constantly will look for these engagers and win. So it's like,
An ally has been slain.
like
An
Maokai
enemy has been
and Mark
slain.
ultimates in order to navigate that team fight.
They were put together, right? Like this was part of that wombo combo.
Dominating.
Yeah.
One breath and rush.
Even items though between Corki and Caitlyn, you're still feeling like Corki's fine. I think
Oh,
4
absolutely.
items, you're like, I'm
Every
starting to be
mark
very scared.
should have meaning.
Never.
So a bit more time for G2 maybe.
So frontline-wise, I just think that Whippo is a lot scarier than what Whippo is. You should start winning out on these trades against Whippo.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Focus.
Enemy has been slain.
Worried about it though. It's such a wet noodle fight. isn't it?
They are
Between these
farming
two.
the damage.
Yeah, this is just, it's just grass.
Let's pump those numbers up.
Yeah. And look, they did get a bunch of stacks, so nicely done there, guys. Not really too much going to come of it. So I think like maybe as nothing happens, it's G3 favored, but still feeling like the game is very much in control of FlyQuest, and as they get more
Feel with me! Especially
Double
given
kill.
the fight, whether that be maybe hitting onto your backline so that no longer you have any damage threats, or even if it's just hitting the Baron, the stall, and now you're just trapped in the pit, waiting for this thing to wear off. FlyQuest are respecting that objective wisely, especially given that they are stacking these dragons and know that the next dragon is coming.
And FlyQuest
Koyan
are
is so
clearly
far
like
from the
delineating every moment that
I
have an item power
understand.
spike, then we go for a fight. They got Guardian Angel now on Inspired. This completely changes how you are able to play a team fight as Wukong. You know, you can just actually turbo into the center of the enemy team, even if they are able to delay. It's that death
Moving waters.
Prepared here, and he might actually have it on this map right now. And it's clear, so even if you didn't have teleport up, you would still have
Relive the
the ability
pain.
to wall over there. And also,
Relive
if you didn't have
the
wall, you just go fast. Very unfair. He's not going to have any issues making his way back out, but does decide to use the teleport to bring him in here. So with that cool new hat, double item spikes, Kobe. Is this going to be enough for FlyQuest to look for a team fight angle? Because it's also soul point for both teams. Whippo goes forward, but he's not going to be able to find too much more. Inspired, look at that
Art is
flank
empty
angle.
without
As the knockup does come through there on Busio, the explosive damage is massive. The wall comes through just to make sure that Caps cannot get in. Unsummoned, not able to find Busio, but now the Unbreakable Will is worn off. Is this just going to be soul point over to G2?
Yeah, I think they get it. You know, FlyQuest basically Busio's out of the fight. Low health with no ultimate doesn't get to do much at all. They just call it off. Yeah, FlyQuest, after they see that, they call off the play, and G2 win the objective with their first damage on the
No one got it. One team walked away and another team got a Drake that wasn't even a soul, so it's not even really going to change the next 5 minutes. But if G2 are able to get the soul, that could be a big deal. And now FlyQuest looking for this Baron. G2 in position though, they still have a lot of buttons up and available in the hole that they really use.
Never
Back away, they're not going to go for any 50-50s. It's Broken Blade in an uncomfortable position, but the seismic shove isn't going to find the mark. They'll get themselves out. There's the Nature's Grasp as G2 are actually looking for it here, but it's a clone that eats that up. One of the benefits of being Wukong into the map.
Like nothing else.
When Baron is being threatened on, look at these waves. Bot is now bouncing back in favor of FlyQuest. Tom is pushing in favor of FlyQuest. FlyQuest are also going to get to the midway first, which means that G2 have pressure really starting to build up everywhere on the map, giving FlyQuest more and more control around the objective. That control one at the back of the pit is really the only thing that's giving G2 vision, and Inspired is going to take that one away, start the objective up once again.
Yeah, Megacone is going to be denied here at the same time as Whippo just patrolling the edge of this Baron pit. Pull off though, as you can see, watching that mid lane. The wall is going to come down, Caps is going to be separated from the rest of the team. Ace in the hole comes in, Inspired going to eat that one to keep him in the fight. Whippo now taking some real damage here from this Caitlyn.
All right, Caps is for sure the target here for FlyQuest. No flash on the Victor. Busio and Inspired will look to target him, and he's getting chunked as well.
Steady your
Rocket's
hands.
really starting to hurt. It's been so incredibly intense.
Look at the waves though again, we talked about them earlier. FlyQuest have pressure everywhere on the map. They're going to quickly go for the reset. G2 doing what they can, but finally Caps will have that opportunity to go
Your
back to
team has
base.
destroyed a turret.
In the mind.
Managed to hold the line. I really thought that was going to be the moment where they lost the whole fight, because FlyQuest was just navigating everything so well. They just barely get away with the skin of their team. FlyQuest, as they should, turn their attention back towards the Baron. It's really the objective that they're going to need to close out the game. And this is the only scary part for FlyQuest. The later into the game you go, obviously the goal just matters less. And so once this Caitlyn and Victor get to 5 items, obviously, like, the fights are going to be a lot scarier for them. They need to leverage the advantage that they have right now.
Well, this could be certainly leveraged as Caps walks a little bit too far away from his turret and will just be taken out by Busio.
Badly done. That is the name of this game. It has been kill Caps. It's either burn his flash or repeat attack and just kill him again. Busio finds the Victor wandering through the jungle again. What can FlyQuest do with the timer?
Well, perfect position, great sidesteps there from Broken Blade though to make sure that he's not knocked back there from the topo strikes. Inspired though, already right on top of this Baron. Skewmond in the area, but it's going to be so difficult to stop this Baron from going down the flash. That Skewmond's flash is now on cooldown. Redemption for a bit of extra damage at the same time. The Baron leash Is Baron down to 4,000? Do they opt in for it? Because Cubone can't get over the wall. It's going to be impossible for them to stuff into the Baron. Will be taken by FlyQuest. The discipline in this game is obscene by FlyQuest.
I gotta say as well, we warned you, there might be a support diff. Busio is cracked, man. This guy is just doing so much. He found the victory. He set up the play on the Caps. Then he goes around, sets up another play. They get Scumont's flash. He goes over the back of the red buff wall, and FlyQuest just claim their objective without technically winning a team fight, but just picking apart G2 beforehand.
And the craziest thing about it was he was spotted thanks to the right side, and it looked like he was the one that was going to get caught, but he was so quick with it. He didn't hesitate. He just flashes in, targets Cubone, and you realize that, hang on a minute, that Maokai with the flash, he's not no way into the pit. There is no risk of a 50-50. Beautiful by FlyQuest. 30 seconds into the Dragons once. I think that they should just abandon it. They want to get as much out of this Baron as possible.
We also need to delay Elder Drake for as much as possible as well, because we want this game to go for about 70 minutes if possible.
For G2's credit, it's hard to push on these Caitlyn trap lines, but never mind.
Flash is going forward. Here's the wall comes down, and Osama just blows up. The inner turret is going to go down, and Scumon is running the wrong direction. Bit of a jungle v jungle here as he gets the Teemo thumbs up. I don't think Scumon's going to feel okay about it. Indestruct comes forward. Inspired finishes him off, and I think this is the end of the game as FlyQuest will slowly but surely, methodically tear G2 apart here in game 1. Busio going forward one more time. The Tempered Fate comes down for a bit of fun as the Nexus turrets, one already down, the second one to follow. Masu right in their face. The Arcade Storm not doing too much of anything. And the Nexus will now go down. Trading places here is Masu and Broken Blade, but down goes the Nexus. And it's FlyQuest up a 1-0.
What a beautiful ending fight. They make me eat my words instantly. They all just flash over the Caitlyn trap. No, we all just flash forward. Masu flashes forward with the rest of them, and they delete G2 before Caps could even get back to the fight. He had been recalling from split pushing, but FlyQuest is in the game.
Maybe they were just waiting the entire game for a Costa Curse. And then finally came in. Now it's time to hear from the analysts about that game number 1.
FlyQuest said, do you think it's going to be any different than MSI? No, and we're going to show you exactly why. A sovereign victory. And I think, and I'll go directly into it with this one, FlyQuest likes to play with a draft. They like to play. I feel like G2 played into their hands completely.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really put any pressure on them. Obviously, they got the Caitlyn CS advantage, but the way that FlyQuest generally likes to play with these Caitlyn compositions is Busio is acting essentially as the jungler, covering his lanes, let Inspire just power farm, hoover up as much gold as he possibly can, and then they're going to show up at the third dragon, and they're going to have a really big power spike. He's on 2 items, he's ready to play, and their objective setups, I think, are the best of Western teams.
And I think it was really nice of Caps to give them an extra hand in the top lane a lot of the time as well, because every time it felt like Caps was just, exactly, and it was, to be honest, well orchestrated by FlyQuest, because we constantly saw them moving up into the lanes, finding the picks, and it was very reminiscent of their game 1 in MSI, where it was very close until they were catching Caps inside lanes on the Cassiopeia, finding moments to get these picks that slowed down the game, put it in their favor, and then they were able to play towards those objectives.
And I'm a bit of a Victor hater in the LCK. I think in the current meta, the champion just doesn't hit the mark for me. There's a lot of champions that could have had this issue, but for me, so much of the games are decided in early to mid game, and I think that Victor just doesn't create the pressure, especially Victor Maokai. By the time you start doing damage, we saw Fly had already taken over the game.
I will say that, and allow me to criticize G2 just a little bit. I think there's hubris at play here, because you come to the table against BLG. Of course, they haven't been playing that well, but they're the first seed from the LPL. You know that they should be better. You flash the plan. You are proactive. You take them to these skirmishes. Why aren't you giving that respect to Fly? Why do you think you can just play standard? Why do you think you can pick the red side and come up with this comp and not do enough to put the game in your favor? I'm sorry, but this is incredibly frustrating to watch.
It was, and I think a lot of them had a plan, but they weren't able to execute the things that they brought to the table. They just barely hit any of the cubes. The ultimates weren't that strong, and it meant that every time we got to the team fight, FlyQuest got to basically do whatever the hell they want, because they were practiced, they were coordinated, they were orchestrated, everything was going in their favor.
Yes, and Isaac, I think the title has destroyed great. It is FlyQuest that
An
can
ally
just
has
make
been
their plan
slain.
come to fruition. We'll get to it in a second,
And
actually.
this is what I was talking about, where if you allow FlyQuest to play their game, and they
Rampage.
build an early lead, they're going to show up to the next objective, they're going to fight you. Their objective status are the best in the West. It's not close, in my opinion. They just don't lose in those spots. Obviously, that's not against LCK, that's not against LPL, but it's insanely impressive.
I want 33 and 0. I feel like it's the level of consistency, right? Because like
That's like every game in our schedule.
Your turret has been destroyed.
That's like 3 years of LCM. No, I'm just
It's crazy, but also it also builds confidence in your team when you get to games and you feel that you're not being challenged. You know that you can play out the plan, and we saw it in this one thanks to the reliable Cisco network. It is FlyQuest who arrived just
legacy
on
where I
time
lead
at the Dragon, and they
It'll
had it planned.
survive of me.
And on one
Even
end,
my
while this is
footsteps
happening,
are
you have
already
Busio
gone.
creating space, but it's inspired, had been playing for himself, has hit that crucial breakpoint, and actually gotten a hand on the Wukong, and he starts up the fight, and it's basically won in the first couple of seconds. Because Hans is taking out the fight.
I mean, their setups are just so good, right? Inspired is coming out of the pit. Whippo is coming in from behind you. Busio's pincering from the
inspiration when
left.
it
Like, it's
strikes.
3 divers all on top of the Caitlyn instantaneously. Everyone piles in. FlyQuest are very in these plays.
And I love the way we saw Inspired playing around the Rex side specifically in these fights. Like, consistently, that
An
time it was a
ally
blast
has
call.
been
The times
slain.
before it was, oh, I'm going to just stand in the pit and not move for the next 30 seconds.
The
So then I got
surreal
bait
needs
people in, and it almost with G2 trying to rely on that whole early push as they try to play into the fight.
The
Yeah,
enemy's
just don't
inhibitor
play
has
into them. Don't give them
respawned.
everything they want. I think that's important. I don't know if we have side selection
It
next.
still
But
came
now,
down to
G2
this.
is really up against it. I got to remind people, this is a position to qualify into knockouts. You could get another chance if you lose here. But honestly, if you lose to a team that's as good as FlyQuest, there are maybe even better teams waiting
100 thieves.
in the other side.
No sharks in the water.
Woo! So,
No
Rob,
justice.
give me a little bit of
No revenge.
the rundown of
Only
how G2
clarity.
could bring this guy.
I don't want to see these enchanters or these straight towards the bot lane. I want to get back to Alistair, back to Leona, set up through that, play towards mid, find that magic that worked for G2 all summer long, and brought them to the main. We have maybe Gale
Absolute science, do nothing for 30 minutes.
Just win. Whatever. How do we? Is this an alternate time zone where maybe you're not gonna
Has been slain.
throwing up our
but when we come back, it is game 2 between G2 from the LCC and FlyQuest from the LPA, or is the LCS winner? No matter what it is.
Moving on.
Never fall.
Revisiting what was left behind.
This is going to be a struggle.
So what you got in LCS or like LTA?
LCS, I'm with BGNG, like they're that's gonna happen.
XU, welcome back to the LCS match. A lot of
Every mark.
LCS pros need to work on their things. This is honestly the best plug I've ever seen for an LCS player.
Your inhibitor has respawned.
Obviously. It's going to be really exciting to see the LCS.
Never falter.
Creativity is limitless, for better or worse.
Huh? Not gonna make that mistake on air for sure. Of the LCS or LTA. After their LCS game, you know, flaming other LCS teams.
People are what they say. What they show.
Shut down. An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
And you're holding him back.
Relive the pain. Relieve the pain.
Every moment of your journey, crystal clear. Landscapes, absolutely stunning. Close-ups, sharp and full of vibe. Group shots, packed with detail. Zoom in on
Art
one
is
face,
empty
still
without
flawless. Colors so real, every scene, every smile. Feel the unforgettable.
from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal than one of these big boys.
It doesn't work that way.
Guess you're not as cool as I am.
Bring me your team will go for a better deal.
You don't know that?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
You feel elation, but that's why I chose you.
An enemy has been slain.
The greatest players in the world are here.
Out of the ashes, into the fire.
You are going to see them like you've never seen them before.
Rocket Will as the Arcane Storm doing so much work, and Genji! They are just going to ace them!
There's a side of me I need to understand. A side left alone. A side in the dark. Enough for now. I'll refine the details later.
How could I ever close my eyes as they silence sins? They try to take me down with their violence.
Oh, they go back in! Bishop flashes in!
Everyone's made of contradictions. I'll always be his master.
Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Never fall.
No one can take the part of me that just wants to live. Follow the river.
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon.
The grass isn't green. Nature stirs in hues I can't name.
The enemy's inhibitor has respawned.
What's heavy in the mind becomes light, a page.
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill. Aced. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. A summoner has disconnected.
Joined by Kobe and Vedius, and I said at the beginning of the game that
Def-
stopped being a play-by-play caster and started being